Hey, what's going on, guys? What's going on? It's your guy, J Day. Hope all is well. Love and light, everyone. Happy Saturday. So, today, guys, I got a special guest that I'm bringing on. This brother, he's been on the channel before. He's somebody that I have met when I was in DR. I met this brother a couple of months back, I think back in September to be approximate. He has moved to DR, got himself an apartment. So I wanted to have him on and just pretty much give me an update on how things are going in Dominican Republic for him. So I'm going to have him on. I believe he's in the background waiting to come on. So let me see. Let's see, we'll bring him on. Be nice. Be nice, you there? All right. I'm going to bring Be Nice on. Invite. Hold on. Hold on here. And B, what's going on, bro? Can you hear
Yo, can
me?
you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear, my brother. How's
What the
everything,
hell is
man?
going on? I'm not hearing you.
You can't hear me?
I can hear you, but it's like really low.
I don't know if it's your connection. I can hear you loud and clear, bro.
Let me check. Let me check these settings.
Okay. All right. If you having a problem, you could
All right, say
log.
something
Can you hear me now?
a little bit louder. Shit, what the hell's going on?
Did you did you log off log did you end any phone call our phone call? Because sometimes that'll happen. Like there's times where I've been on the phone and I forgot to hang up and I'm on the live, and this is the reason why you know my guests couldn't hear me and I couldn't hear them, vice versa.
No, I ain't been on the phone.
Okay.
Yo, let me put on these headphones. So let me see if these things work.
All right, no problem. Hey, what's up, boss? All right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Mhm. One moment.
If you want, you can log back. Now you got to turn that screen back around, brother. If you want, log back on and then log back off and see if that'll work for you. But the screen, okay, there you go. There you go. You heard me? If you need to, log back on and log back off.
All right, that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, try doing that. All right. All right. So while he's doing that, guys, I guess I'll give you guys updates for those who haven't seen the last video that I did yesterday. I think I told y'all the wrong dates that I'm gonna be heading down. So instead of the 27th, it'll be the 30th of this month. Yeah, the 30th of this month to the 4th of February. So I'll be down there. So anybody who wants to meet up, just send me an email at taylorjayson01 and then we'll pretty much go from there. All right, you there, B? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, but again, it's like really low. Man, I don't know what's going on here.
Really? It, do you have another device that you can possibly use, or is it okay? Is it okay? Because I don't want you to keep. I see you keep bringing your ear to the phone.
Yeah, let me try to log on my computer.
All right, all right.
Hold
Sorry
on.
about the technical difficulties, guys. Now I'm
Hey,
talking
but
to the
yo, if I
audience.
go to the computer, how am I going to get the link?
Oh, ooh. Can you copy it? Copy it. Copy the link from the WhatsApp and send it to your email.
All right, yeah, I'll try it that way.
Yeah, do it like that.
All right, give me
All
just
right.
a bit.
All right. I got you. Yeah, guys. I guess he's having some problems, but yeah, the reason why I decided to bring him back on, as I said, he's back and forth. He's making a life for himself in DR. So I kind of wanted to get some updates on how things are going for him, And any questions that you guys might have for Be Nice, this would be the time to ask him any questions that you might have. Yeah. So that's pretty much one of the reasons why I brought him on. Yeah. And then but I don't want to say everything, but I'll wait till he gets on so I can ask him all the questions that I want to ask. Yeah. But I know some of you guys were asking about apartments yesterday and places to look. And I keep telling you guys, marketplace is it's a good resource for pretty much any and everything. All right. Especially if you're one of those people that's looking to furnish an apartment. And for those of you guys that don't know, when it comes to renting an apartment in Dominican Republic, they come unfurnished. Now, their unfurnished is different from our unfurnished here in the States. When you get an unfurnished apartment in the States, it usually comes with a refrigerator and a stove, whereas DR is completely unfurnished. So you're gonna have to buy, your own appliances, in which I did. Now, I got a small fridge and a small stove only because I'm not there, all year round, So that's pretty much suitable for me. And eventually, maybe who's to say? Maybe down the line, I might get a bigger appliances. But for now, that works for me. But in terms of like, and all of this stuff can be found on Marketplace, guys. My bed I got on Marketplace, pretty much brand new. Now my mattress I bought brand new, of course, but the bed that I got, it came with the two end tables, the dresser, the mirror, and the frame. I think I paid about $250. You know, $250. I bought my washer for my clothes. I bought that. I bought my air conditioner. All of this stuff came, used secondhand, but it of good quality. Good quality. So if you one of those people that's on a budget, don't leave Marketplace out, man. It's a great resource to find things, and sometimes in some cases you may have to travel out, to Santiago, the neighboring cities to go and pick stuff up. But if you're getting it, at a reasonable price, I say go for it for sure. Go for it. You know, and if you one of those people that's looking to live, I always say anyway, it's better to buy a unfurnished apartment, only because if you're renting first of all, renting a furnished apartment, you are going to spend more. You're going to spend more money, and we'll talk about the prices of furnished to unfurnished, because Be Nice happens to live in a furnished apartment. But I told him, I said, man, I recommend you buying your own appliances, if in case you got to move, or the landlord selling the property. You're not in a situation to whereas you got to buy appliances. You might not even have the money to do that at that moment. You see what I'm saying? So I always say it's better to buy all your appliances so that you have them, and when you move for whatever reason, you can bring your appliances with you. You know, because renting a furnished apartment, you got to move now. Like I said, you got to find the appliances now. Money you might not have, and when it comes to renting, in most cases, the owners want usually like 3 months, 3 months, 1 month's rent, about 2 months security. That's normally how it goes. Yeah, and then moving out, you might have an issue getting your security back. So you really have to uh, be careful when it comes to renting from some of these owners, because a lot of them, they be hesitant when it comes to giving you you know your rent back, your security back. So I always say this is my strategy when it comes to that. If you're going to move, and that, because they like to find every little thing or reason to not give you security. Always take pictures, videos of the apartment, of how it was before you moved in, okay? And then before you move out, you take another video, just so they can't try to pull, a little scam on you to hold back your security. But to protect yourself, I would say this is what I would do. I don't know if it worked for you, but this is just my suggestion. I've never done it, but if I was in that situation and I know I got to move and I'm kind of like, feeling like the owner's not going to in my browser. If I'm feeling like the owner's not going to give me my security, I would do it like this. If I know I'm going to move on May 1st, I'm going to tell that owner I'm moving out in May 1st and I'm going to live out my security. I'm living out my security. You want to come in and inspect the apartment before I move? That's fine, just so there's no issues. But what you're not going to do is tell me you're not going to give me all of my security back only because a small little imperfection is something that's small. Because they will do it. I've heard stories. So you really got to be careful when it comes to that. Flex Mundo, good afternoon. Nev on the daily. Jay, hey Jay, here at work on a break. What's going on, guys? What's going on? Be sure to hit the like, hit the share, hit the subscribe. Who would say is the best real estate attorney? Who? Give me just a bit. My computer is telling me to update and restart. All right, guys. So my guest, he's coming on. Just give him a little time. We had some technical difficulties for the ones that is just coming on. Yeah, so just give it some time. Who would you say is the best real estate attorney on the North Coast? I mean, Africa, we have a lot of good real estate attorneys. Um, my real estate guy is great. My attorney is great. He's the one that did. I don't know if you know the backstory of having to take my ex to court to get the property, but he managed to get my documents and all that stuff, and so he's really good. And a lot of people, I always say my lawyer because he speaks really good English, and that breaks a barrier. I know me. When I'm doing business, I want to be able to communicate directly with the person that I'm doing business with. I hate having to be go through a middleman and all of that. Because when you're going through when you're doing the middleman thing, more than likely that middleman is asking, is up, up, upcharging, on fees and all of that stuff. So I always just try to cut the middleman out. No, I didn't know the backstory, but sounds it's interesting. Hee hee hee. All right, well then you might have to go and check that video out. It's one of the earliest videos that I've done, and it's my dating experience. Uh, yeah, it's one of my top videos till this day. I will say I'm actually still getting paid on that video. Oh yeah, but yeah, you just always have to. You always want to protect yourselves doing business in Dominican Republic and trust no one. Trust no one. There are people that I put a little bit too much trust in. I think, thinking, but people you don't find out who a person really is until later on, and it takes time. It takes time to really get to know a person. So I'm just gonna say, don't put all your trust in the people, especially when it comes to doing business. I've had a situation to whereas, and you're asking me, Africa, about a good lawyer. This guy was a lawyer that's pretty much scammed me. Somebody that is pretty much running for office in about 2 years, and I have all the receipts. See, what little does he know? He this lawyer, and this is just an example of why you have to be careful when doing business in DR. This lawyer, okay, he I one of my clients from my channel bought some property from this lawyer. I think I might have told this story again, but I'm going to tell it again just so you guys know this is the kind of crooked stuff that can happen to people. This lawyer, um, this lawyer was selling properties, doing real estate as well, and one of the clients from my channel purchased a plot from him, and pretty much he was stringing me along for about a year when it came to paying me my commission. Yeah, he kind of stringed me along, and he said, he was just threatening me, telling me that if I think that I'm gonna, if I what did he say to me? He said, if you think you're gonna win, good luck. Just basically just dismissive, telling me that. I wasn't going to get my money, you know. And this kind of stuff happens, unfortunately, especially being a foreigner doing business in Dominican Republic. This is why you have to make sure you dot all your I's and cross your T's, because you'll get taken advantage of completely. And if you don't know the laws and the right people that can put you in the right direction to help you, it could be a catastrophe, to say the least. Thanks for the info. I'm in Puerto Plata now, looking on Facebook Marketplace, but wondering who is legit and who is not. And that's one vibrant family travels. One thing I will suggest to you. Okay, guys, my guest is on. Hold on. I'm sitting here talking and talking. Let me add him onto the stage. But be nice. You
Yo,
good? Can you hear me?
yes, loud and clear.
All right, great,
I don't
great.
know what happened. I don't know
Uh,
what's going on.
Yeah, but to answer your question, Vibrant Family and Travels, you're wondering who's legit and who's not. Now, you do have to be careful on Facebook Marketplace. I will tell you, because it happened to me. It was a bed, not a bed. I think it was a table that I was trying to sell. I'm trying to buy, that I was inquiring about. The guy wanted me to meet him at one location, and then I wasn't physically there in the country to meet with the guy, so I had my boy go and meet with him, contact him. He told me one price, and then he told my boy another price, and then once he realized that I wasn't Dominican, that my boy was Dominican, then he started changing. He started changing the narrative, and my boy told me, he said, Jay, this guy was trying to set you up to have you robbed. You know,
Oh, shoot.
yeah. So just be careful. When you are looking to buy things on marketplace, my suggestion would be, have a local do it. Have a local do all the transactions, just to protect yourself, because you don't want to be in a situation to where you end up getting yourself robbed. And if you don't have a local, make sure you meet them in a public place, you know before you do any exchanges. Okay, that's just my suggestion on that. Yeah, you got to be careful. You got to be careful. But as I said, I have gotten a number of things on marketplace. So you just got to be, screen them out for sure. So yeah, be nice. I'm glad to have you. How you doing?
Yo,
Happy to
I'm
have you.
chilling.
Happy to have you back on, man. It's been what, about 3 months since you was
Yeah,
on.
3 or 4 months. And yo,
Yeah.
I apologize about yesterday. Yeah, like I said, I don't
Uh-huh.
understand what happened. It didn't tell me you called or anything,
Yeah, because guys, I was
which
supposed
was
to have
weird.
been. Yeah, I was supposed to have him on yesterday, and I don't know what. I guess you said you didn't get the call, but it's all right. I managed to hold down the platform on my own, but now I got you here, so it is what it is, man. So tell me, it's been 3 months. I know you're back in the States now, but how has the transition been? For you. 'Cause how long did you stay before you made it back to the States?
I I was there about 3 weeks, just over 3 weeks.
Oh, okay, okay, all right. So you pretty much got yourself adjusted. So the 3 weeks of you being there, tell me all that you did, and how was the adjustment? Being there for the 3 weeks, and then also elaborate a little bit on the apartment, because I did tell the guests that you had a furnished apartment. So let's talk about the apartment, purchasing the apartment, and all of that for people who are looking to go down that route.
Well, I guess what initially happened with me, this is when I first met you at the Airbnb.
Yeah, yeah,
I was
uh
in a pinch at that time because I was staying longer, but my Airbnb was about to expire.
huh. Okay.
And I know this kid already there, this Dominican kid that's there. I know him already.
Mhm.
So I was telling him my situation. I was like, I don't want to pay for another Airbnb. It's a lot cheaper if I'm renting a place, especially when I
Mhm.
don't know when I'm coming and going. I have this situation going on with my son.
Right.
So a lot of times I don't know when I'm actually coming and going.
Mhm.
So for me, it just made more sense to rent something instead of
Right.
dealing with the Airbnb situation. So that's what
Right.
started it all off. So this kid, he found me a really nice place. Like it's about 3 to 4, you know where it is, about 3 to 4 blocks from the Malecon.
Yeah, it's a nice location. Nice location.
Word up. And
Yeah.
it's a dead end street, so there ain't no through traffic. And you're really
Yeah.
close to everything.
Yeah,
you
it's
know, in that
quiet.
area around the Malecon. And
It's
it was
it's
like
quiet.
$580 a month. I think it's
Okay,
like
so that's
35,000 pesos.
okay. And I've seen the place. It's 2 bedrooms, 1 bath. You know, so this is the price range because people are some people are trying to figure out, what's reasonable and what's not reasonable. You know what I mean? As I
But let me
told you,
say, like you
uh-huh.
said, my place is furnished. Now, if you
Right.
get in a place that's unfurnished, that's a big difference.
It is a
It's a
big
huge
difference.
difference.
It is a big difference, but I always say it's better to do unfurnished only because
Yes, absolutely.
if in case you gotta move, you're not in a situation where you gotta look for couch. You gotta look for everything. You gotta furnish it all over again. And you
Right.
might not have the money to do that. So I always say buy everything when you have it, so that if in case you have to move, you already got what you need to move into your next apartment. You know what I'm saying?
Word up.
Yeah, yeah. But in terms of and that 580, does that include the utilities as well?
Yes, sir. Everything.
Okay,
Yeah, everything
okay,
is covered.
okay. All right. So
And
there
I,
you have it. Go ahead. What you gonna
I was
say?
gonna say, there's an ongoing thing about power and all that in Dominican Republic. So the last
Right.
time I was there, I didn't really experience that many outages, but the
Uh
time
huh.
before, oh yes, I was, man, yeah, it was brutal.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've only experienced outages living, staying in, the barrios. You know what I mean? With my girl at the time, power would go on and off. But anytime I've ever rented an Airbnb, I've never had, any power outages staying at an
Oh,
Airbnb.
that's what's
You know,
up. I've
not
had a few
staying
issues.
at staying at the one that you're at now. Really?
Oh yeah, yeah. Even the place I'm staying at now.
Oh wow.
But like I
Okay.
said, the
Well.
last time I was down there, I didn't experience it that many times.
Uh huh. Okay. Okay. So now a lot of people want to know about, because I had people ask me this, and this is one thing that I implemented for you, and you was like, Jay, thank you for that. I told you, I said, be nice. If you are not going to be there full time while you're not there, you should be Airbnb-ing it out.
Word.
I've even stayed at Be Nice's place. The last time I was there, which is in September, I stayed at Be
Damn,
Nice's
it was that
place.
long ago? It
Yeah, it
was
was.
September,
It
wasn't it?
was. Yeah, it was in September. Yeah, it was in September. Now,
Damn.
because yeah, it was September. Now, a lot of owners. Now, let me ask you a question. When you did the lease agreement, was that implemented in there? Like you can rent it out as an Airbnb? Was it?
No.
Okay,
But
so
it wasn't in there, so I assume that yeah, it's
It's
fair
it's o-
game.
it's okay. It's
Word.
okay. So that's my answer to you guys. If it's not in the lease agreement, it's okay because there's nothing in the agreement that says that you can't do it.
Word.
Now there are some owners that do have it because they know that this goes on. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So the ones that know what goes on, you know, and if in most cases they don't care, they might just want a little extra on the side, you know what I mean,
Word.
per booking, so that's something that you pretty much got to work out with the landlord, for sure, for sure. I'm gonna make sure you guys get them likes up. Please hit the like, hit the share, and hit the subscribe. I'm just gonna run through some of these questions before we go further. Louis B says, "Be careful. Facebook Marketplace is really scary, in the DR especially." Yeah, I would. In the province, I don't think so much. You really got to be careful. I would say in the big cities, Santo Domingo and Santiago for
Yes.
sure. For sure. You definitely got to be careful. You know, Puerto Plata, Sosua, it's more, it's small, it's on a smaller scale. But the bigger cities, for sure, you definitely got to be careful because they already know that we are gringos based on, once they look at the profile pic, our
Mhm.
profile pic tells it all. They know that we're not from there based on the profile pic. Yeah. So tell me some of the pros. I mean, I know that you was only there for 3 weeks, but tell me some of the
Oh,
pros and
but now
cons.
mind you, 3 weeks at that time. Now I've been to Puerto Plata for the last what 2.5, 3 years on and
Right,
back and
right.
forth.
That I know. But tell me some of the pros and cons of living there. that an expat might need to be mindful of?
First off is income.
Uh huh.
You've got to have some type of income. And I would say to live, you know, people's lifestyles, they like vary.
Uh
You
huh.
know what I mean? So it's kind of hard to really say how much you actually need. Me personally, I guess everything I'll answer from you, I'm speaking from a personal level.
Uh huh.
So me personally, with my place at being at 580, you know me, I don't really party or stuff like. I'm not really into all that type of stuff. Um, I got a girl down there. I give her like the $300 a month, something like that.
Uh huh.
And I mean, and it's not no agreement. I know she's struggling and whatever, so I just give her money. So
Okay.
that's a part of my overhead as well. I just count that in as on my overhead. So I would
Uh-huh.
say to live comfortably at the rate I'm doing it, about 1,500, you probably could kick it with no big problem.
Okay. All right. And that's what I pretty much hear. Anywhere from like 1,000 to 15 to 2,000.
Yeah, you could doing all right. Yeah,
Yeah,
2,000,
yeah,
you're doing all right.
yeah. But that's for a person that's on. Now, if you're on a fixed income, that might be different. You know what I mean?
Right.
A lot of us are on fixed incomes. I know for myself, once my house is done, I'm not paying any rent. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm only paying utilities, in which I'm hearing the light bill can be very, very expensive in DR. That's what I'm hearing. I won't know until, I mean, well, right now I'm not living there, so I can't really tell you, on average how much I would be spending on a month to month basis. But there is somebody that I can ask. Louis, you have your house in Santo Domingo. Tell me, when you are there, on average, how much would you say your light bill is? Africa, he said she's Africa. Yeah, he paid $580 a month, and I think, like as I said, guys, when I get down there in the end of the month, I'm paying 250. So you guys, actually, what I think I'll do, because be nice. More than likely, if you're not there, I'll probably end up staying at your Airbnb again, only because I got moms coming in, and I
Yeah, no
told you,
problem.
yeah, yeah, I told you guys, my place is not fully furnished right now. It's comfortable for me, but my mom's decided to ring on my parade at the last minute. And can't
Like
tell
moms
moms,
do.
yeah, can't tell moms no. All right,
Word.
so Louis answered the question. So guys, on average, 1,200 pesos a month, which is not. That's about $21. That's about $21. But Louis, but you're not. That's pretty much what I'm paying now. I pay about that too. And mind you, I have the Haitian guy and his family staying there. I do have lights running. You know what I mean? But once the air conditioning is running, I got to have my AC. So you guys got
Yeah, I'm
to,
spoiled like
yeah,
that.
you got to factor in all of that. If you're going to be running your AC every day, you got to factor that in. But me, living up in the mountains, I get that breeze. So I don't think I'm gonna be using the AC as much. So tell me, I know you said that your girl, you got a girl and all that. Tell me, how is the dating for you? I know we talked about it before, but let's elaborate a little bit more on the dating, because I know, for me, I just, we had this discussion, you know what I'm saying? And I was real transparent with you. I said, be nice. I said, if you're going to be dating a woman for whatever reason, make sure that she can help you, can contribute in some form or fashion. Some form, there has to be, so because when you told me, oh, I factor in the $300 a month, I was like, you know what I said? I was like, I was like, bruh,
What are
I
you
would,
doing?
yeah, I'm like, bruh, I wouldn't be doing that. But once you broke it down to me, I kind of understand it. You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
because in the States, I would be, man,
go
now
ahead,
everybody can't front.
elaborate
You'll
it.
be paying a lot more than $300 to date someone in the States. And I don't
Right,
mean like pay like giving, but going out, doing this, doing that. By the time you
uh-huh.
add all of that stuff in, you're well over $300.
Right. And then
Nails, hair, and all this.
once I seen how she moved, because even when I wasn't there, when you weren't there, she had the Airbnb clean, check, you know what I mean? All of that, so
Yeah, when
here's
I
what.
ask her to do things, there's no issues.
Right, right.
Yeah,
So if it's a give and take, I say, you know what, I'm okay with that. You know what I
pretty
mean?
much.
But
Yeah, it's a give and
yeah,
take, pretty
but
much.
just to be giving a woman, $300 a month, nah,
I wouldn't
nah.
suggest that either.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
about giving women money because I know women like to run games. I know how they are.
Right.
So I'm that type of person that just like to give women money. That's just not me.
Mhm. Yeah.
Never have been that way.
So in terms of I mean, because I know for me, me personally, I'm just not in a situation right now to commit financially, only because I got a lot going on with the house and everything like that. And I have tried it, I have tried it. Um, could you see yourself being in a long-term relationship with a Dominican woman?
Hear me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
You like,
yeah. No doubt, no doubt.
uh-huh.
Because um, I remember I used to always hear this thing when I used to be hitting the club scene that you can't find. I mean, I'll be talking to a girl and she said you can't find good guys in a club, and I'm thinking, well, I'm here and I'm a decent dude as far as I know. My intentions aren't bad. So no matter where you are, yeah, you're going to find true, honest people that are trying to do the right thing. No matter what country you're in,
Uh-huh.
it's a vetting thing. You really just got to vet who you're dealing with.
It is a vetted thing, and I think that we had this discussion before. I think the big problem for us is that we want to go for the younger women,
No doubt.
and which causes a lot of headaches. You know what I mean? Um, Most women in their 30s plus, there's a lot of fine, middle-aged women in Dominican Republic that I think we should give a chance, only because I think they are more in it for the long run opposed to the younger women.
Well,
That
now you've seen my girl. She's a nice looking girl.
oh
And
yeah,
the
yeah,
thing I'm telling
yeah.
myself, who knows? I don't know what her past is really. So I might
Right.
have caught her on the back end. This is what I keep telling myself,
uh,
'cause I'm an
uh,
older guy. I'm mid 50s. She's 40.
right. But she's a good bruh. I will say she is a fine looking 40, man.
Yes, very nice
She's
looking lady.
she's very, 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 very nice looking. But I kept it real with you, bro. I was like, bro, when you look at him, I say you could tell that she's got that little choppy in her. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, it's definitely there. But if she, like I said before, if she is contributing to what you got going on, it might not be financially, but the fact that you trust this woman enough to give her your keys to your apartment, check me in, have everything clean and all of that stuff. That's a plus for me. That's a plus
No
because
doubt.
now that you know that if you decide to get another apartment, you can use her and help her manage your Airbnbs. You know what I mean? And that right there that's gold right there. That's priceless. Finding somebody like that is priceless, regardless of her past. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
I don't care about
And I
that.
got a pass. I'm an old war
We
guy and all that.
we all do. We all do. Who don't?
No doubt.
Yeah. All right. Let me just read some of these
All right.
questions here. Shout out to PK PL Kyle. I got 22 of you guys in here. Be sure to hit the like, hit the share, and subscribe, guys. I'm thinking about snow briding in the next 2.5 years. What do you think about $3,000 per month? I never heard of the term of snow briding. Have you?
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
I don't know what snowboarding is, man, but $3,000 a month. That's well. I mean, for a single person, man, you're doing good on that.
Very
You're
nice.
doing really really good. Now, if you're somebody that's on a tight budget, on a fixed income, because there's a lot of brothers and sisters that's just living off their social security that don't have pensions and stuff like that, that still want to make a move. You might have to look at it's like Santiago. The rent is still cheap in Santiago. You can find I mean, and even in Puerto Plata too. you
Right.
know
Yeah, you can find a place for
yeah,
250 a
because
month.
as I said, I'm paying $250, a month, and my apartment is nice, man. I haven't seen it in person yet, but from the video that Shamo has taken, you where you're gonna get a brand new, and I'm the first tenant, first tenant. You're not gonna find apartments like that for that price, especially now. And I do predict, inflation going up in apartments too.
No doubt.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. So grab it now while you can. Oh yeah. Luis Herrera, I used the AC less than 3 weeks, and I pay 4,000 pesos. That's kind of a lot. And he says Este is robbing me because the house is empty. I'm gonna be real with y'all. It is what it is. It's always good to know a local because they can help you. With that. I got the plug on the electric company, the electric bill. I'm not gonna say much, but I'm just gonna say I got the plug. I got the plug on that.
Good to know
So
people.
I ain't got to worry about electricity. Let's just say that. Yeah. And it's in DR. I tell people all the time, it's not what you know, it's who you know. You got to get yourself connected. You got to
No
get
doubt.
yourself connected. Yeah, and you got to
Extremely
get yourself.
important. You're in a country where everyone's hustling. When
Right.
you're dealing with that constantly,
Uh-huh.
you're gonna get
Uh-huh.
finessed or hustled if you ain't, paying attention. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Right.
If you ain't paying attention, you're gonna get finessed.
Yeah. And we've all gotten finesse. You just try you just gotta limit it. Try to limit it as much as you
Uh-huh.
can. You know what I'm saying? For sure. Vibrant Family Travels. We are a family of three. Most accommodations we see are about $850, $1,000 furnished, Torrey Alta area, Los Maestros unfurnished, 30,000 to 40,000.
That
Yeah,
ain't bad.
it sounds about right.
Mhm.
But you have to factor in now. When you have kids involved, you got to think about school. Are you going to put your kids in private school and all of that? You have to factor in all of that. Are you going to teach them the language? Hiring a tutor and all of that stuff. Because I know, if I was someone with a family moving to DR, my goal would be to make sure that my kids are speaking Spanish fluently. You know what I
100%.
mean? It would be very important to me. We old now, so it's a little bit harder for me. Kids, it's easier for their brains. They can absorb more than we can. You know what I mean? So it's easy for them to learn the language faster than
No
we. So
doubt.
it would be important for my kids to learn the language. And I highly recommend families that are bringing their children into DR. That should be very a number one goal for your kids to learn how to speak the language. Yeah. Um, Let me go to the next comment. So, what is the monthly salary of the average woman in the DR? I mean, it can vary depending on your
Yeah.
yeah. It can vary depending on your profession. The average salary for just a average Dominican is no more than like I would say about what is it 30,000 pesos a month, like yeah, about $500 a month is the average salary for a middle class Dominican, right?
That
about
sounds about
about
right.
yeah
That sounds about right. In the
about
neighborhood.
500, which is a little over like 40,000 pesos or so. Yeah, about that. Question, Jade. I'm going to go to the next question. DMR, question, JD. How much you charge to talk to you about DR? I usually, and in the beginning, guys, I didn't give consultations. I didn't charge for consultations. I didn't, but now I do only because I got a lot of people reaching out to me, and it's my time. And it's funny because it's funny you asked that because the last time that I was down there, I had a brother reach out to me and listen. When I'm down there, it's my time, it's my money. I'm meeting clients, I'm moving around. So if you want to, all the information that I'm putting out on the channel, I feel that it's informative. I didn't give everyone enough information out there. So if there's something that you want to know other than what I put out there, then yes, I told him, give me $35 for a consultation. Oh, I don't know anybody that other YouTubers that charge that, yeah, and I'm just like, man, there's YouTubers that's charging $150 for a consultation, man.
Well,
You
like you
know,
said, money is time.
yeah, it's my
You know,
time. And if you
yeah,
can't
it's
respect
your
my,
time.
I know me. If I'm looking for information, I'm willing to pay for it, especially if it can help me get to where I need to be. You know.
Absolutely.
Then so it was
Invest
just
in
like,
yourself.
yeah, I ended the conversation. It's no need for us to have a conversation anymore. Done. You know what I mean? Because then he was like, oh well. Then after I told him that, oh, because I was looking for you and your team to build to build. So why didn't you say that in the beginning? Why beat around the bush? You know what I mean? So I was just like, whatever, man, whatever. Find somebody else. I don't got time, to go back and forth with people that doesn't value my time. You know what I mean? Yeah. Um, so next question, Luis Herrera. You can be honest there. If you go there, I paid of the guys that work for the electricity company to hook, and that's exactly what I did, guys. I bought all my electrical from the electric company. So all of my electric is American standard, definitely American standard. Yeah. So enough about me because I'm bringing you on. So tell me, what other places have you visited outside of Puerto Plata, and what other places? What places would you recommend people to visit outside of Puerto Plata?
Well, the only places I've been in the Dominican Republic are Sosua, um, Punta Cana,
Uh
and
huh.
Santo Domingo.
Okay.
I've
Okay.
not been to Santiago.
And out of all three, what would you say is your favorite?
I would say it's between Puerto Plata and Santo Domingo
Okay. And for what
because
reason?
yeah, this is something that I found that was kind of weird a couple of weeks ago. There's something that seems like it keeps pulling me back to Santo Domingo. I don't know what it is.
Uh
I
huh.
can't really explain it. But there's two different lifestyles. If you want that beach lifestyle, kind of laid back,
Uh
which
huh.
me, I'm kind of a guy. I'm chilling. I'm lounging.
Yeah, laid
So
back, same vibe, same vibe. Yeah,
yeah,
laid
I'm a
back.
kind of laid back guy. So Puerto Plata works for me.
Uh
But
huh.
I also like the hustle and bustling of Santo Domingo. I like to be in the city now and then.
Yeah, yeah. And I think as much as I say that I can only last a good weekend in Santo Domingo and I'm ready to come back home. I think my mindset will change. Being from New York City, when I'm feeling like that, I need to feel that hustle and
No
bustle.
doubt.
Yeah, I can go. I can at least I have that option where I can go to Santo Domingo and get that feel of the hustle and bustle, feeling like I'm back in New York again. You know what I'm
Do
saying?
you take a Caribe tour when you're down there?
No, I've never taken. I have. I've taken Caribbean tour to Samaná, but I've
Uh huh.
never taken it to Santo Domingo. I actually drove from Puerto Plata to Santo Domingo.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
cool.
I drove. It was a
I've
nice,
only been by
nice,
bus numerous of
nice.
times.
No, it was a nice ride, man. I had my playlist going. Me and my girl at the time, we made it there, and because during that time they was just working on the road. So now
Oh yeah, the road's
to get
done.
there, yeah, the roads were fucked up. Excuse my French. They were fucked up, But now it'd take us no time to get there. But when I tell you I was flooring it, because it's no speed. I was doing like 90, man. Like,
Word.
yeah, bro. You
I
can
don't know if I
just
would trust any roads down
you
there to
can
be
just
doing no 90 miles.
nah.
I'm
No, I'm
sorry.
telling I'm telling you, the roads are
Yeah, the road's
from
nice. Yeah,
yeah.
I must admit,
But
the
I'm
road is
hearing
nice.
it depends on what direction, because I never went to Santo Domingo in the direction of leaving out of Sosua. I usually go in the direction of
Coming
going
out of
towards
Puerto Plata.
coming out of Puerto Plata, going to Maymon and that way.
Right.
But I
That's the
hear
only
if
way
you're
I've ever
going,
gone.
if I hear you going the other way, because you got to go through the mountains, and I hear the roads are like, they're like, yeah,
Oh, word?
yeah, I hear it's dangerous.
I wouldn't mind
That's
trying that road. I wouldn't mind trying it though.
I want to try it too. I don't think I would drive. Now that I hear it, you got to be careful. But I definitely want to experience that for sure.
Well, I
Yeah.
would definitely like to talk to somebody that's done it.
Uh huh. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
heard.
wouldn't do it on a whim, but if I had
Not
talked to
me.
somebody that's done it a couple of times, say, "Oh yeah, I've gone through there a few times,"
Yeah.
I would do
Yeah.
it. But other than that, no, I wouldn't.
Nah. Me either. Let me go to. I just want to click. I got a lot of people. I got 34 of you guys in the chat. Be sure to hit the like, hit the share, subscribe, guys. I don't want to miss out any of these comments because somebody was talking about Louis and his situation. Louis, he says, I had to cause they're just ripping me with the 1,200 pesos, all because there's only a fridge and two bulbs. That's the only at night. And it's good that we are hearing this. Louis in a situation where he's feeling like he's paying too much for electricity when he's not there. Louis lives in New York like me, and he travels. He travels, every now and again. So he's feeling like the electricity bill that he's paying, like they pretty much are ripping him off. So this is what Marvin Butler is saying. Shout out to Marvin Butler. He says to Louis, the man should go to the Adeste and go do a reclamation, and he'll get your money back. So you need to investigate all of this so that, because you don't want to, the last thing you want to do is keep paying, money that you shouldn't be paying, especially if they're overcharging you. And it happens. It happens, We're in Dominican Republic. So that extra money you paying is probably going to somebody else's pocket, man. So you need to look into that. There's no reason why you should be paying more than you have to,
Has he talked to anyone that's actually living there? And trying to
Well,
compare.
well, he's got two tenants. He's got two tenants that's living downstairs, and then he's got his apartment. His setup is nice. I haven't been. He's just telling me, yo, we got to go and travel together because I like to see his crib. I met him in person here in New York, but I like to go and see his crib in person. He did it. He built his house a few years back, but he did a really good job on it. It looks good.
Oh,
It looks good. Yeah. Let's see here. My wife lives in the DR. If they work at Banco, it's 9,000. Okay, I'm just trying to catch up on some of these comments here. The DR is the Observer Melanin. The DR is a very simple island. Just be ready to use your translator because they are lazy when it comes to learning English. It's true. It's true when you say that. They get frustrated real quick. And this is why it's for us to try to practice, even if you were taking out, I say for the ones that's living there, you should be taking out at least 2 hours a day, to try to learn some of the words. You know what I mean? I think what's helping me is that I live in New York, which is a melting pot of cultures, predominantly, it's a lot of Hispanics, so it's easier for me to learn the language because I grew up a lot of Hispanic people. You know what I'm saying? So, and then I took Spanish at school, so it's easier for me to get by. And then working with Spanish people, I think what I do is I write down things that I'm gonna have a conversation with someone. Like for instance, I work in psychiatry, and part of my job is triaging patients when they come into psychiatry, and we have a lot of Spanish people coming in. So I have learned to tell them in Spanish, like, take off all your belongings and everything, and before you go upstairs, it's a process. So I have learned to communicate that to them, and my coworkers like, damn, they really understand you. You know what I mean? So I tell people, whatever you feel comfortable in doing, just keep doing it, and then eventually it'll just come, natural. So now I just be they're like, yo, even some of the Spanish people be looking at me like, damn, you speak tu habla español? I'm like, yeah, un poquito. They're like, nah, mucho, tú sabes,
It's
Yeah.
good to know a little.
Yeah. So now that there, what do you do for your pastime? Because I find that a lot of expats get bored after a while, and I tell
Yes.
people, man, you gotta keep yourself busy. So what are some of the things that you do to keep yourself busy while you're there, other than going to the beach?
Well, remember I was telling you that I was trying to learn Python because I wanted to try to find me a little gig, a little like part-time job, full-time job, something I could do remotely.
Mm-hmm.
So in my spare time or free time, a lot of times I was on the computer learning a computer language. And I'm somewhat of an academic because I will go back to school February 1st. Yeah, here in a couple of weeks, I'll be right back in school.
Mm-hmm.
So my free time now will be, hopefully I can find a little job, and then me being back in school, I'll be a full-time student.
Okay, so you'll be online schooling while you're in DR.
Yes, sir.
Nice. So there you have it, guys. I mean, especially for those of you guys who are looking to generate more income, There's so many
Yeah.
things that you can do, and especially if you got the time, you just have
Right.
to you just have to be disciplined. You know,
Yes.
just you have to be disciplined because it's so easy for us to get caught up and just going to the beach, hanging out with friends. You know, but if you one of those people that are really striving to make a little bit more income for yourselves, you have all this. The tools are there. I call it YouTube University, man. I know
Oh, Jake,
some.
let me interrupt you for just a moment. I'm sorry. One thing that I'm always telling kids,
Hmm.
and I promise you, I say this wholeheartedly. If you spend an hour a day, let's say you're trying to learn like me, this Python, I
Hmm.
was spending more than an hour. But if you spent an hour a day, honestly, really studying something, I don't care what it is. It don't have to be. It can be anything. If you
Hmm.
honestly spend an hour a day, you're going to learn it. 100%.
Right.
100%.
Exactly. I believe that. I believe it. You know, and my goal is to really be fluent in Spanish. You know,
If
I
you
want to
spend
know
an
what.
hour a day
Yeah.
strictly learning Spanish,
Uh-huh.
you'll speak it in no time.
I will say for those of you guys who are having difficulties learning the language, and this is just from my experience, I found it to be very effective. Babbel, that online,
Yes, I've used Babbel before.
it's good, man. It's really good. Especially if you know the basics, it really teaches you how to speak the language. And you can learn at your pace. I spent I did it. I paid for the year. I did it for a year. It cost me about a little over $100 and something, but it's worth it. It's definitely worth it, and it will help you to learn how to communicate effectively because it teaches you not the hood Spanish. Because and that's okay. Most of us are gonna learn Spanish. We're gonna learn it like slang Spanish.
Yeah, you pick it up
Not
in the streets.
right, not because especially if you're picking up in the streets. But if you want to learn proper Spanish, definitely recommend Babbel to use for sure.
Let me give you some advice on something. I think I've told you before I speak German.
Oh no, no,
I
you
never
never
told you
told me
that.
that.
Yes, I
No,
speak German. And
wow,
the way I
impressive.
learned German is I'm an ex-military guy. And after I got out the military, I stayed in Germany for a few years. But
Okay.
where I was living, there was no English speaking television.
Ah.
So I was forced, if I wanted to watch television, this was a long time ago. So yeah, this ain't now. Don't think
Right.
Germany's
Right.
backwards. But this was some time ago. But yeah, I was forced into kind of learning. But
Uh huh.
when I started learning, I started working at this place with some Germans. And all these words I would hear repetitively, I would go ask, like, what does this word mean? I just keep hearing the same word. And after time,
Uh huh.
just me watching television, especially like news and stuff, because most television is spoken in like the proper dialect of a language.
Uh
If you
huh.
notice, most television that you're going to watch, movies, news, all that is going to be spoken in its proper dialect. So I started
Hmm.
learning Spanish from the television, or I'm sorry, German from the television.
Uh
To the
huh.
point when I started to speak to Germans, they were saying, like, what kind of school did you go to learn German? Because your German is so proper.
Uh
It's
huh.
so fluent and it's so proper. And I only learned it from watching television. Basically, that's the only reason.
And
So I would advise people watch a lot of, and you got subtitles now. You got
yeah,
television where you can watch
yeah.
it in Spanish, but you can read the subtitles.
It's funny you say that because one of the nurses here at my job, she's from Panama, and she said her husband learned how to speak Spanish from watching Spanish soap operas with her.
Telenovela, yeah.
Yeah,
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 soap operas. It's
that
spoken
yeah,
in the proper dialect in
right.
most cases.
So that is definitely. I'm not a TV guy. I used to be. I watched so much TV.
Understandable.
I watched so much TV as a kid, man. You can't even sit me at a TV now as an adult. I have no interest in watching television, so it would be
Right.
hard for me to do it that way. But
Understandable.
if you are a TV person, yeah, for sure, for sure. All right, let me go. We are running out of time, bro. You see, when we have a good conversation and the comments are flowing, man, time moves quick, and I don't want to miss anybody. I don't want to miss out on anybody, so I'm just gonna go through some of these comments. Uh, let's see here. It's Louis. Santo Domingo is easy to move around if you live in Santo Domingo. Uber, InDrive, cheap is so cheap. And that was another thing,
Yes.
guys. Uh, transportation is a big thing, especially if you're living in, Santo Domingo, Santiago. I would definitely say don't get a car.
Right.
In the province, you know, you have to weigh it out. You have to weigh it out. I'm like, I know me. I'm definitely gonna need a car living up in the mountains. You've been to my crib. You know I need a car up there. You know,
No doubt.
yeah, I need an
You should get
SUV.
you like an SUV.
For sure. I definitely gonna need that, man. But yeah, you know, if you're one of those people that don't have means of transportation and you're looking to move to the Dominican Republic, you know, you might need to factor that in your lifestyle. Is a province suitable for me versus, you know, Santo Domingo where, you know, transportation is mass. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
you got to
It can
factor
be
that in.
challenging
Yeah,
navigating Santo
yeah, oh
Domingo,
yeah,
driving
for
around Santo
sure.
Domingo. It can be
Yeah,
challenging.
for sure. And then it could be costly too, paying a motor concho every day, especially if you want a fixed income. So all of that needs to be factored into your
Right.
budget for sure. Yeah, for sure. Um, the Observer Melanin, 1,200 pesos is like 20 something dollars. That's not a lot. Okay. Um, let's see. What credentials, Corey Jackson? What credentials you need to purchase land in the DR? All you need is your passport, man. All you need is a passport and your identification. That's all you need to purchase land in Dominican Republic. Passport, ID. Um, yeah, that's it. That's it.
But I would caution anyone to actually learn the laws of the land when it
Oh
comes to
yeah,
owning property and stuff like that. Make
and,
sure you understand them.
and then also making sure that when you purchasing land, knowing the difference between titled land and untitled land. You
Use a
know,
lawyer.
yes, use a lawyer. Not to say, and if you're gonna buy untitled land, which is cheaper than titled land, you know,
Mm.
because now the lawyer has to go and get the title, the land titled, which can be, there's loopholes in that. Not to say that it can't be done, because it can. You just need to make sure that that lawyer is knowledgeable and getting a land that's untitled titled. Okay. Yeah, just keep that in mind, guys. You got to be careful, because the last thing you want is buying untitled land and then a year later somebody come and say that's my land. You know what I'm saying? You don't want those problems. And I've heard
No
horror
doubt.
stories when it comes to that. Let's see. I went to the SD office, put in a claim about paying too much on my empty house. The next month it was higher because, damn. The next month it was higher because they got there, kept saying I have ACs. That thing is what that's crazy. That is crazy. And they should know you have ACs. You might want to bite the bullet, man, and get you some solar panels, bro. You know, Louis. You know, I'm gonna eventually invest in solar panels. Once I get up there and see how things are functioning, that will determine what I need to do. You know what I mean? Because the last
It's
thing I
always good
want,
having a backup plan
yeah,
anyway.
yeah, you don't, you know, especially in the compo, man, you don't want power outages. That's how my house got broken into. They once the power went out is when they went in, and I'm glad that they went in because they realized they couldn't get out. They couldn't get out of there. You know, my house is secure. They couldn't get out of that motherfucker. They couldn't get out, and whatever they tried to take, they couldn't. They couldn't take nothing because they had to climb out to get out. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah. So they realized it wasn't a win. So I'm glad they did, trying to get in before I start furnishing my shit. You know what I'm saying? And then by that time, you know, my house is gonna be completely secure, completely. You know. Um, Ruth Butler, I am from DR. Been living in Maryland for over 50 years, now retired and have a home in DR. I wish I can move there, but the medical system is not the best, and also the everyday living in the barrio. You know, it all depends on your health. You know what I mean? If you a person
Yeah.
that has a lot of health problems, DR might not be the place for you. You might have to be. I think he's a snowbird, and that's what I think it is. A snowbird is a person that flies to a country in the winter, in the you know, leaves the winter to go somewhere where it's nice. You know, you might have to be a snowbird. You know, and if you do have health problems, one thing I will say, guys, make sure that you get healthcare coverage before you hit the age of, I think it's 65 in the Dominican Republic. Don't quote me on that, but I do know there is a cutoff for health insurance. Yeah, once you hit a certain age, you can no longer acquire health insurance in the Dominican Republic. But I will say, in terms of like medicines and prescriptions are cheaper in DR than they are in the United
Yes.
States. Yeah. So if you
And you can go right to the pharmacy, damn near whatever you're
whatever the
taking. You
hell
can
you
go right
want,
right to the pharmacy and
exactly.
get it.
I have paid. I got sick. I caught the flu one year when I was in Santo Domingo. I went to the pharmacy and I got antibiotics. I was fine within like 2 or 3 days. Yeah, I was fine. So you can get prescriptions and all of that stuff, and there is good healthcare coverage. I was supposed to have. She was sick, and she's been out of the loop for about a few weeks. I got to reach out to her because I want to bring this woman that sells health insurance and car insurance in Dominican Republic, and I
Oh
want to
wow.
have her on. Oh yeah, I want to have. I was supposed to have her on a few weeks back, but she got sick. So I want her to come on the platform and explain different healthcare coverages that is offered in DR for people who are looking to purchase, healthcare.
And I would think the healthcare would be probably better in Santo Domingo. If you, I hear their healthcare is not bad in Santo Domingo. Now I don't know about the rest of the country.
I would think so because it is the capital.
Mm.
You have more accessibility in Santo Domingo opposed to living in the province. So I would definitely say yeah on that. Marvin Butler, Luis Herrera, did you tell the four ACs they might just be doing an estimate based on what you told them? I would never tell them I have ACs. Never tell the light company that you have air conditionings. What they don't know won't hurt them, and they're not coming to your house to inspect to see. So, try not to give out too much information, man. Yeah, because giving out too much info, TMI, it could cost you. It could definitely cost you.
It's like the saying goes in the U.S. about bringing people to your house.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right, right. I just want to get all these comments before I close out. Nako, how can I buy for in Puerto Plata in a good area for 10,000? Nako, there's nothing in Puerto Plata for $10,000, man. I'm sorry. Maybe about 3-4 years ago, yeah, but now you can't find nothing for that price. Marvin Butler, they were charging me $1,800 and I wasn't in my place for a month. This is ridiculous. And what you guys should be doing, if you're not going to be in your place, unplug everything. Food and stuff like that, give it to your neighbors. Give it to your neighbors and unplug everything. And that will determine that's how you know you're being taken for a ride, all right?
Word up.
Yeah, well, unplug everything. Give your food to your neighbors, unplug everything. That would be my suggestion. I am from La Romana, but now is only on vacation. Let's see. 10,000 will not get you land in any place nowadays in the D-Mart. More like 60,000 and up. Yeah, depending on where you want to buy. Ruth Butler, everything is an issue. The electric, the water, propane, the banks, everything is a long line, at least at La Romana. I'm a U.S. citizen for over 50 years, never had a Dominican ID, now trying to acquire. And I have a friend of mine who has now become a resident of Dominican Republic. He got his residency. He told me this a couple of days ago. I'd like to have him on the platform.
That would
He's
be
not.
good
I would
conversation.
love to have. Yeah, I'm gonna meet up with him when I go down. He's not the type that likes to be on camera though. That's the problem. So I'm gonna have to try to push him to come on, guys. So cross your fingers. Hopefully I can get him on because I like to share that information and see what the process was like for him to get his residency in DR. Yeah. My Dominican birth certificate has problems. Yes, good insurance in DR are Humano Universal and
Oh, yeah.
Paelic, I think. They have to go to your house, JD, okay, so they have to go to your house when they put in your claim. Okay, got it. All right, guys, so we about 5 minutes over. Time moves so fast, man. Be nice. I appreciate you coming on. Is there
Anytime.
anything?
Thanks for
Is there
having me.
anything?
Word
Yeah.
up.
Is there
Thanks for having
anything
me.
that you want? Yeah. I'm gonna have you on again. And as I said, when we down, we gonna definitely link up. When I'm back down there. That's if you don't make it down there when I'm down there in a couple of weeks. But is
Man,
there
hopefully I'm keeping
anything?
my fingers crossed that I'm getting out
Yeah.
of here soon.
I'm keeping them crossed for you too, bro. Hopefully everything works out for you. But is there anything that you want to share with the viewers? Any advice you want to share with the viewers before we close out?
Don't trust anyone. That's the best
Yeah,
advice
yeah,
in a negative light. But it's a country where people are hustling. It's just the way it
right.
is.
And always keep that in mind, guys. You're dealing with people that are, that are coming out living in poverty, man. Living in
Right.
poverty. We can't help everyone. We can't help everyone. And I try to do as much as I can do, when I can do it. But don't, overwhelm yourself with overgiving. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because eventually when you do that, it gets to a point where they start expecting. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
that would be my advice. Give what you can when you can, and be mindful of who you give to. Yeah, because the people that you give to, some of those people are not deserving of it. You know what I mean? So that would be my advice. But it's 36 of you guys on the chat. Be sure to hit the like, hit the share, and the subscribe. I appreciate all the love and support, guys. Always, y'all stay tuned for more content. I'll be in DR January 30th through February 4th, and Mom Dukes is coming. She's excited, so I'm gonna probably do an interview with my moms, and that way she can give her perspective on DR for people who have never been to DR before. All right, so y'all stay tuned for that as well. Be nice. You there? You freezing up on me, brother? All I'm seeing is eyes closed. You there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
All right. So we closing out, man. Until next time, you guys enjoy the rest of y'all Saturday. Until then, y'all take care.
Bless.